Forgot to turn my fan off. Can you give me like 1 second?
No.
Hmm.
Yeah, how dare you? It's all part of their evil plot to ruin my editing experience.
We heard you cackling.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, hi everybody, and welcome to Gallifrey Ad Nauseum, a podcast where we are watching, reading, and listening to every depiction of Gallifrey throughout the Doctor Who universe in release order. I'm Allie, I'm a Time Lord.
I'm Ramon. I am the same Time Lord.
And I'm Les, and I am the same Time Lord.
This week, this week we watched, what did we watch? This week we watched The Three Doctors. The TARDIS Wiki synopsis of this reads, Time itself is in peril. The Time Lords find themselves besieged by a mysterious enemy. Vital cosmic energy is draining into a black hole, and the Doctor is their only hope. Trapped in the TARDIS, however, he's powerless. The only way out is to break the first law of time and let the Doctor help himself. Literally. Which, yeah, that I guess that's what happened.
I guess that's what happened. It's beautiful. Episode there's three doctors, there's three of us. Let's go.
Let's
Who's
go.
who's it written by and when did it come out?
That is a good question.
Where did that information go? It's written by Bob Baker and Dave Martin. It aired the technically started airing in 1972. It's from the first few weeks of 1973. But first episode aired December 30th, 1972. This was a problem for me when I watched every episode on the anniversary of its first airing because I didn't get the first episode of it.
Oh no.
That's just a story of like I'd seen it before, so it was fine. But like one of the first times I watched this was in a weird context.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, it is during the Third Doctor's era. Notably, there's more than just him around.
Yeah.
Fun fact is that this is the only serial with Troughton and Hartnell that is extant on its original filming tape, like its original master tape.
Ooh.
That every other episode with Hartnell or Troughton that we have is from a copy because the originals got wiped over.
Really? And this is the one that got saved?
Yeah, by this point they were saving them.
Cool.
Yes, they fucking should.
The first one that got saved then.
Yeah.
That's...
it's not the first story that got saved, but it's the first one with them. It's the only one with them.
Got it.
Sorry, you talked about being saved and there's three of them, and I immediately was like, oh yeah, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, sure. Sure. We were just talking about Catholicism off air.
Yeah.
As we do, apparently.
Protestantism also.
Yeah.
The Doctor's apparent Protestantism.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the real glass ceiling for Doctor Who, is that the Doctor has not yet been Catholic.
We'll get there one day.
One day.
None of us here are even Catholic, by the way.
No.
Yeah, no.
So bit of like, I guess we do like personal context with the episode. So
yeah.
Had anybody seen this before, not seen this before?
I knew nothing.
Nothing
I had seen it, I think maybe twice or three times before. I mean, it's one of the ones that like, it's one of the classic ones that you're gonna watch if you're watching Classic Who for like an extended period of time, I think.
For sure.
I was curious about how like the precedent for a multi-doctor story, like pretty early on in being a Doctor Who fan. 'Cause I was really into like Day of the Doctor remains one of my favorite episodes. So seeing like kind of the template for that was really interesting.
Definitely. Uh, yeah, I think this was probably the first uh, serial I watched with two in it. I watched this once a long time ago. This might actually be my first ever Classic Who serial that I ever watched, but not in a
Whoa.
context where I sort of knew how to watch Classic Who. So I got into Doctor Who when I was like 14 in high school. And I remember watching it with a friend, and I was at this friend's house, and we were like, oh, what about Classic Who? Because we'd only watched New Who.
Mhm.
And we found it on like Daily Motion or something, like somewhere where it was not laid out in a way that made any sense. And I think we just put on a random episode. And I have the most distinct memory of Omega's crystal candy bubble wrap creatures standing in the hallway with the other characters and like walking towards the camera. So I'm 90% sure that this was my first encounter with Classic Who. I did not understand what was happening though. So that's. But I've watched it since then, like in its entirety, and then rewatched it this time. So that's fun for me.
So this story opens on a classic Barry Letts era working class man who is definitely humanized and not just a comic relief character who is here.
The
He's got a
entire
gun.
time. Yeah, this guy exists. I did anyone figure out why other than comic relief, I guess? Like
So the one thing here, it's not quite this, but it is kind of this, is that Yates was supposed to be in this episode.
Robbed.
Captain not appearing in this episode.
oh,
There were
oh
scheduling
man.
conflicts, so like Richard Franklin couldn't be here, and so a lot of his lines ended up going to Benton. Um, and then
Benton
like
was
there's
very
other background
prominent.
characters that take up the rest of the lines that either of them had.
Yeah, I had a lot like I noticed Benton talking way more than I think he ever did,
Yeah,
which
So
makes
the Brit
that's
sense.
because
yelling
he's
at him a
doing
lot,
Yates's
which was
lines.
nice.
That's a real friend. If you can't be here, I'm gonna say all the stuff I knew you would say.
So true.
Fully like you're filling in for you at work by saying sentences that I think are you core.
Yeah,
And getting yelled at in the way he would get yelled at by the
Yeah,
Brig.
flirting with Joe.
for sure.
For real!
It was
Like, ooh.
nuts.
Ooh.
Like,
like that
hello?
that's in Yates's job description.
Yeah. God.
Like, Benton. But yeah, so we have a scientist, one Dr. Tyler,
Tyler.
who brings a contraption to unit saying that he's found evidence of some kind of faster than light beam. Uh,
It was me.
what?
The light beam.
Oh right, yeah,
I saw you guys laughing and
of
I was like,
course.
what? um, yeah, some kind of faster than light beam that's coming at Earth and sort of making things vanish. Is that?
Yeah, like well before
Yeah.
that, the working class man got eaten by a weird blob. I love the
Right.
blob.
Oh, we love the blob. It's so
Yeah, and
Robert's
I
the
have
Master
blob is here
Goosenake.
now. Dr. Tyler
I
brings the blob to unit.
I
Yes,
have
very
God, yes,
helpful.
the metal balloon. And then also that the blob is like um Goosenake Master Run
Yeah,
1.
Yep,
Um, which was interesting.
for sure.
I liked that it was colorful. I thought that was cute. But yeah,
Yeah.
the
I
working
love the
class
effect on
man,
it. It genuinely it looks unsettling. I really
Yeah.
like it.
it
It's a
does.
nice effect.
The working class man also has a name. It's Mr. Hollis, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry, I need
Um,
to. I'm listening and learning.
um, he he finds the contraption and touches it, and then you don't see him again. And everyone's like, "Where did he go?" Couldn't have anything to do with the contraption. He's
Or
probably
the
off
blob.
looking at the woods somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
you
wife is
know,
just like, he goes places sometimes.
yeah,
It's
there
awesome.
working class woman.
Honestly, good for her.
Yeah,
She's
representation.
here too.
Also,
Oh,
there was a NASA mention, which I thought was interesting because I have never heard a NASA reference in Doctor Who before.
I feel like it's
Um,
we just haven't watched the stories where it comes up. I feel
I feel they do.
right.
They do.
there's
They
other
reference heat.
stories that we haven't watched that do a lot with like international politics that
Oh,
Yeah,
in
okay.
Unit Era.
they've
So
definitely talked to and about Houston before. I think
Mm.
the last time I encountered that was it was with Liz in
I mean, Ambassadors of Death is doing a lot
Ambassadors
with
of Death. Yeah,
astronauts.
that's what I was trying to remember what it was.
See, I
Ambassadors of
haven't seen
Death.
that. So
I
to
haven't even
me,
finished it. It's
So yeah,
so goddamn
if
long.
Les hasn't seen it, it's because it doesn't exist
Yeah,
and we just made it
that's
up.
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
it's fair.
Um,
Okay.
quit gaslighting me. God.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
he touches this contraption, he disappears, and Dr. Tyler brings the contraption to unit. Blob comes
The
out.
cosmic ray monitoring device
Sorry,
is
the
what the
cosmic
contraption
ray
is.
monitoring device
It
that
has a name, you know.
listening and learning
We're
here.
all listening and learning today.
It brings the device and the blob and um sort of makes himself at home trying to print these. He has these pictures that look like x-rays of this faster than light cosmic ray thing that seems to be aimed directly at Earth, and he goes to print out a third one while nobody's there, and he vanishes.
Can I get an F for Dr. Tyler?
Yeah, and then we see this blob creature. This Hi, Leslie.
I have something to add
Yeah, please.
from
Yeah.
before he gets got. Um, he is chatting with Joe and the doctor and the brig. And at one point, Joe actually explains to the brig what is going on, which I
Yeah.
thought was really exciting and cute
That was
because, you know, when we
fun.
first meet her, she knows nothing, and the doctor treats her like she knows nothing. And now she's like the translator for the brig. I also have a note that says brig can't read. I don't know what that is referring to, but I think it's
Well,
true.
he's just kind of stupid in this one.
He
He
is
took a bunch of
really.
stupid pills before this episode started.
So true.
I love the Brig because he's so used to not understanding really big concepts. He has a kind of learned helplessness about little concepts. I'm so serious. Like he's
Yeah,
so
no,
used
you're
to going on
So true.
like the doctor is going on about stuff that no human could understand, and the Brig is so used to that that the doctor will say something like faster than light, whatever, and the Brig is like,
Hmm.
"Can you please speak English?" Like,
yeah, the Brig is always doing that. They'll like in English, please. It's just like a normal science concept that like you learn in high school.
someone's talking about the water cycle, and he's like, "I just don't understand it."
I also have a note that the next X-ray readout was just going to be the master's middle finger. Um, because I didn't know he
I
wasn't
want to
in this
live in the
one.
universe where you live in, that you live in, where the master's in this story.
Me
Thought he was gonna
too.
be. I literally thought Dr. Tyler was disguised master at first. I was really suspicious.
I,
That would
yeah,
be
that's fair.
that would be such a fun version of this story too. Like
Yeah.
so so many more Time Lords for Omega to kidnap.
Chomp on.
Yeah.
Right. Said chomp on.
Chomp on. To gnaw on
Yeah.
and bite and
Yeah,
chew.
exactly.
Mhm.
Also, the readout that Dr. Tyler gets from this one that he's developing when he's alone in the lab, because, like, they explain everything, and then the doctor's like, Joe, come with me. We have to go do something about this. And then, the break leaves too, because what the fuck is he gonna do? And Dr. Tyler gets the next readout, and it's a face, which is weird and scary. And so he's like, "Oh, that's weird and scary." And then he touches the contraption and is gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a great
I,
prop.
I wanna I
This
wanna pause
is
for
good.
a
Yeah.
Joe outfit check.
You have that
Yes.
noted? Hey, quick question. What color was Joe's outfit?
Like a baby blue?
Was it the same color the whole time?
I
I
think
think
so.
so.
Okay,
There
because
was
my notes I have Joe in purple. Um, it's not. And then like a little while later, we have notes about how it's actually fucking blue. So I just didn't know if that was a me thing or anyone else experienced the color shift.
there is some interesting stuff they do with lighting in this episode that probably
Okay.
contributed. I don't You initially saw it as purple?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I have
Cuz
Joe in
later
purple with a
cuz
lot of exclamation points because she looked really good in it.
so true. I'm just thinking
She looked
later
really good in
on
blue too.
there's a lot of red light in
Mm.
uh Omega's
No, it
room.
looked blue there, so I don't really know what
Yeah,
was happening.
I don't know.
Ramon, can you
There
can
is fun
you
lighting stuff though.
there is, that's true. Ramon, can you explain the outfit for our listeners?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up an image because
Yes.
That's what I just did
I'm
because I
gonna beam
missed
it
it.
Doctor Who,
directly into
the
their
three
I
minds.
missed looking at it.
doctors, Joe. Just gonna keep this image up for the rest of the recording.
God, yes. It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
so she's got this like high necked like you got a turtleneck under like a mod dress with like big sleeves. It's like baby blue with like white like trim on it. And then this like really like furry baby blue coat over it
Yes.
and like high black boots. It's real 70s. It's as everything she wears is, but like
She looks
I
amazing.
yeah.
So good.
Um,
I'm gonna miss Joe's outfits
yeah,
deeply.
I adore her. Oh yeah, this is the last story we're watching with Joe.
I didn't
Um,
know that.
I'm sorry.
She died doing what she loved. Fucking slaying that
She's
shit.
not dead, to be clear. It's
See, I
Killed
fine.
her.
wouldn't know. I'm just saying things.
She's got a Welsh husband who's a vegan and likes mushrooms.
Narvin?
What?
What?
What? Is Sean Carlson vegan?
I don't
Sean
know.
Carlson Welsh?
Yes.
That's why I said it. I don't know anything about his dietary preferences.
That's so fucking funny. You just heard Welsh and you were like, I know a Welsh guy. Speaking of dying doing what they loved, the goo monster gets Bessie, which, if you don't know what's
Yeah.
happening and that she's gonna come back, is scary.
Yeah,
That's our
I
favorite
have
card.
I have a note. It ate Bessie, frowny face.
It ate Bessie.
I noted a Brig line about this that I loved, which because he didn't know that Bessie got, and so he just thought there was something wrong with her. And he says, like, oh, like, did one of Bessie's gadgets misfire? Which I thought was so cute because he's like, he knows it's not like a normal car.
Hmm.
And
I mean,
I
he's
just
learned the
thought that
hard
was
way that
really
it's not a
adorable.
normal car.
See, I don't know any of these things. I don't even know why she's not a normal car. I just know she
Oh,
goes
that
fast.
we just know like the doctor's just like got a car that he's done some shit to.
Word. I mean, it does play
Um,
some pretty amazing, like, carnival carousel music every time she drives. So, like,
yeah.
I do enjoy that. And the next note is the beam.
The beam. There's this just kind of side note because it was the break talking about Bessie. They have entire conversations up front in this episode where they just aren't telling each other information in the right order.
Yeah.
Did you notice
Yeah.
this? Benton
I do
gets
this
sent
story.
to
Everybody take a bunch of stupid pills.
stupid pill. Benton is sent to search for Dr. Tyler, and he comes back to tell the brig that he can't find him. And that's the first thing he tells the brig, and then he says, "Also, there was an explosion."
Burying the lead a bit there.
He does not lead with this, and then the doctor comes in and is like also recounting the same story about this blob creature getting Bessie, and he's well into this story before he's almost at the end of it before he says that there's a creature. Like, it's so out of order and so whack. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Can we
Bad
talk about
job,
the
Gene.
creatures for a second?
Sorry?
Sure.
Can we talk about the creatures for a second?
Yes.
I fucking love their design and execution. I think they're so fun and so weird. And like genuinely, if I saw that in real life coming towards me, it would really scare me. But I loved like they're like whimsical and sparkly.
I
And
have in my
also,
notes, God, I love a blobby freak.
yes, yes, God, yes, the blobby freak.
God,
Also
yes, the blobby freak.
I call them
their
candy
gun
bubble wrap.
arm, their gun arm is like a claw, like a lobster claw, but you can shoot shit out of it. Oh my God. And their eyeball, one big eyeball in the middle, has like a thing in it that like whenever the whole thing moves, like it moves within it. Fuck. I love the practical effects of those guys.
It's
I also love that they didn't really make noise or like threaten or anything. They're literally, I mean, like they did shoot people, so I get but they weren't like, I'm gonna shoot you. They just kind
Wow,
of approached
pacifist
and
kings.
No,
do
they
they
were
have a
really
name?
good. They looked really great. And
They did. I loved it.
they matched the set. Like we see them out of context at first, but when we actually
Mm-hmm.
get to the antimatter universe and see Omega's I call
I'm
it the Crystal
obsessed.
Candy Palace because it looks like candy and I want to eat it. But like you get there and you
And
realize they
yeah,
match. It's
I
really
love
So
the sense you
good.
cute.
get, like, these things don't belong in our world and do very
Hmm.
much belong in that world.
Yeah.
So
I
great. I
love that
love the
Omega
eyeball.
could, like, imagine anything and imagine these blobby freaks.
Yeah. Like it's
With a
I
claw.
love that every single thing in that I know we'll get to this, but every single thing in that universe is maintained purely by his will because he wants it to be that exact way. And he has to constantly want it to be that exact way. And that's what it all looks like. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love it, King was he has taste. I don't know
Yeah.
what the taste is, but it's taste. Oh, there's a shot here of the Briggs, like, has his baton and he's, like, tapping on the gadget.
This
It's
is
just
my
like,
favorite. I wrote this down too. He's standing there staring into space, just sort of whacking it, waiting for Benton to come back.
okay,
So
Uh,
man.
good.
I have also, so they kept shooting at the creatures because that's what Unit does. And at one
Hmm.
point, Johnson used a fucking bazooka short
Sure,
range,
that'll
and
do
it
something.
like it didn't do anything. Um, Crazy. Also, I don't remember who told the doctor to stay where he was. Like, I have a quote, "You stay here, doctor," and 3 basically says, "Don't fucking tell me what to do," and then does whatever he wants. But I don't remember the context for this.
I've got it. I have the transcript up.
Hooray.
Yeah,
It's
they're the brig is trying to evacuate the lab because of the
mm-hmm.
blob.
Yeah.
Um, and so the
And
brig
then
just like tells the doctor to stay there, and
the
the
doctor's
doctor is a
like,
bitch about.
Yep. And then the brig leaves to go do whatever the brig does, and Benton climbs in the window
I love
of
this.
the
I wrote,
That's
lab.
Yates activity. I
Yes.
believe that was a Yates
but no,
ism
but didn't we
first.
see in the last one, whatever it was, we saw Benton
Climb
climbing,
out on the roof and climb in. Yeah,
yeah, climbing in and out
Okay,
of
yeah.
windows. He's addicted.
at the Newton Institute.
Yeah, in
Okay, yeah.
I'm so bad
I
at the
you've
names.
you've convinced me. It didn't take much convincing.
I would love to see
And
Yates go in and out a window, by the way.
I bet you would.
I'd love to see him do anything. I miss him.
weird innuendo, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Also, this is the first time that Benton goes into the TARDIS.
Yeah,
Which is wild. He's known this guy for so long.
I was so surprised. Like, he never even poked his head in there. It wasn't locked.
Well, the brig has never been in there either.
Exactly. It's so
Yeah,
crazy.
Benton got to go in there before the brig.
So funny.
King.
And
Yeah.
The break.
he
So
takes his.
I have noted here, like both this lab set and the TARDIS set are new
Mm,
in the story. Um, that the lab set I think is new specifically so that they could take a fucking wall out of it later.
Oh, yeah.
so true.
But they do keep using it like into the Fourth Doctor's era. Um,
Yeah, it looked familiar. Because, yeah, they do have to take, like, everything out of it at one point and
mhm.
take the wall out and
Which like
stuff.
making it that kind of like modular makes it really useful if you want to have the creature in the lab set, which is really cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then the TARDIS interior is like, okay, we've got it. We've got the thing that we're going to keep using for a bit.
Yeah. I have to say I like it better than the egg carton one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Benton walks into the TARDIS and immediately takes his hat off, which I thought was really cute because usually that's like a
God,
big
yeah.
sign of respect, and I thought that was really adorable.
Yeah, I liked him keeping it in his shoulder
Yeah,
strap thing.
I noted that too.
That was fun.
Also the sound when the TARDIS doesn't take off because the doctor's like, "Let's go," pulls the lever, and the TARDIS, it reminds me of like, when you try to do something on your computer and it's like, "No, uh-uh."
Yeah.
The TARDIS was doing that repeatedly. Like he'd pull the lever and it would be like, "Absolutely not, old man." And so he has so he and the gang are stuck. So he, Joe, and Benton are stuck in the TARDIS because the blob thing is outside disappearing everything.
Don't you hate it when there's like a blob drill at work?
Well,
Working
not
at
even a
unit must
drill this
suck.
time. Do you
It's
have
always
any
some kind of.
normal chemical lab spills? It's always some sort of blob shit. Like,
Yeah.
Thought today was a normal Monday. Nope.
smell me again.
Literally strong as fuck ice on me again.
Literally the
Sorry.
Benton experience.
Yeah. The doctor then is like, "Hey, I we need help." And I have a quote written down. "I hate having to call them." And he doesn't specify who the them are. However, we are then transported to fucking Gallifrey
To the
to,
Doctor's planet. To the
yeah,
Doctor's
sorry.
home planet.
For the listeners, I call it Gallifrey. In the episode, they do not call it that. Um, Good distinction. And I was so surprised at how colorful everything was.
I loved
Like,
this set.
I
Mhm.
love the set was so colorful and like there were lights and everything. I was shocked, honestly, because they're supposed to be so like austere and like, I don't know, rules. I don't know what I'm trying to
But the
say.
thing is, they're not even supposed to be anything yet because we've only seen them like twice, and we've only
Yeah.
seen very
This is the
specific.
third time we've seen them.
So like we're
It's
still
true.
building what they're supposed to be right now, which is
That's
They're
true.
so
so
fun
much
to
more
me.
chill in this one. Like they're just
Yeah.
guys who are trying their best.
Also, their
I have so
capes,
much to
their
say
big,
about this.
sparkly blue capes, luster,
Slay.
fucking absolute slay. But I was like, who are we? What's happening? And this isn't based on like what we've watched up until this point. This is based on like me listening to Gallifrey and the picture I have in my head of it.
Hmm.
So vastly different from the set
Yeah.
we are shown here.
Yeah.
Again, the colors, amazing. I loved it.
I'm so excited about seeing this scene. Like, this is what I've been here for, guys. Like,
Hmm.
first of all, the costumes. The
Yes.
costumes. Not only the big sparkly blue robes. Like, okay, so first of all, this is the first time we're seeing like normal Time Lords,
Yeah, they're
right?
just guys in like an office
They're just guys in an office, and the
in their
way
stupid big robes.
in their stupid big robes, and the way that the costumes have been sort of based on the previous ones we've seen is delicious. Because the
Hmm.
office, like the guys who aren't the chancellor or the other guy in
The
charge,
president. The
president,
president's
the
here.
president.
The Chancellor also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the two people we see talking to each other are the president and the chancellor.
yes. So I didn't realize it was the president. That's insane.
Yeah, that's insane.
Um, okay, but the guys who aren't the president or the chancellor are wearing like black uniforms that look very clearly based on the robes we saw in the war games,
Hmm.
the ones that we would call CIA robes now, because they've got that. I don't know what it's
Stole.
called, but like the what
Stole.
the stole
Stole.
stole
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Stole.
They have that thing going on, but like bigger this time. Like everything's getting bigger, and it's gonna keep getting bigger, which is my favorite. Um, and the double vertical stripes down the sleeves is a thing
Adidas.
that's going to come back for the chancellery guard on their pants, and I just love seeing the costumes develop. I love it here. I'm so happy.
We get a lot of like characters who know everything that they're telling each other things they already know. The scene.
So
First law of
true.
time forbids it. What's the first law of time again?
Don't fuck your clone.
Basically,
Is that a rule?
The rule is don't interact with your past self.
yeah.
Okay, that's different than fucking your clone.
Don't fuck
You
yourself.
That is.
scared me there for a second.
The second
Anyway,
law of time is don't fuck your clone.
No!
damn it. Can't have anything.
That's not even to do with
Um,
time. They were just having a problem.
Yeah.
that's real. As we will see in a few minutes.
Is this the first time they've mentioned the laws of time or the first law of time?
I think so.
Yes.
It has to
I
be,
want to say
right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Because it's the first time it's been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This becomes
Like
such a thing in Doctor
this whole
Who.
situation is really interesting to me because they're not calling in the doctor because like this is like a morally weird thing or a dangerous thing that they don't want to do themselves. It's just like literally the doctor is the only guy they can spare to do this. It's all
Yeah.
hands on deck to deal with the crisis.
So they're also getting attacked by something weird
Yeah.
and like power drainy, and it turns out it's related. Um,
Yeah.
Also, some of the lines from that I loved were he can help himself, and then the other one goes cross his own time stream, and like freaks the fuck out. And the other guy's like, "Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it now."
There's also I wrote down, are you telling me we are up against an adversary, a force equal to our own? Like just a really incredulous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Which my note there is, yeah, bitch.
Yeah, they never. I think that's all they ever say is like at least equal to our own. They never
Hmm.
hint that it could be more powerful than them, which is so great.
They
Yeah.
can't
They can't admit
And then
it.
the
conceive that
chancellor says, but
anything would
that's too
be.
terrible to contemplate.
Exactly. It's just not possible.
It doesn't even cross their minds. And so what's happening is they are also seeing this and tracking this light beam thing. And it's coming out of a black hole, which isn't possible. And it is draining all of their power, essentially.
Yeah.
Sucking it right out of there.
Just
Yes.
sucking it, just
Specifically,
right out of
the time travel facility is in danger, is the line.
Yes. So this is
The Lappy style, yes.
So it's draining the energy source that the Time Lords use for time travel, and without the time travel energy for their time travel facility, they will be basically normal.
Normal.
But in
Yeah.
their
Like, that is the
helpless
thread. It's,
by
like,
their
it's not even
standards.
like their lives are in danger. It is purely like their ability to time travel is in danger, which is really interesting. It's like a thing that they're this panicked about.
Exactly. So
I mean,
it's
they are
Like,
the
it makes
Time
sense. This is
Lords.
what this culture is about, is like
They
the
just have
idea
to
of
be
time
the
travel,
Lords
even if most
then.
people don't travel.
Exactly. So they're very worried about this. So it's all hands on deck trying to stop the power drain, save the time travel facility, figure out how this light beam thing is coming out of a black hole. And the Doctor is on his own, but they're going to send past versions of the Doctor to help the third Doctor with this blob issue at Unit.
I will specify.
Which does imply that, like,
that-
the laws of time are, like, written and social rather than being, like physical laws or, like, laws of nature. Like, it's purely, like, we don't allow us to do this.
Yeah, so the President and the Chancellor are arguing about the law and whether it should be broken, not whether it physically can. So that's a big thing. Leslie.
Also, I will add that, just to clarify, I'm sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. Hang on. Right. Initially, they only want to send one version because that in and of itself is like a crazy, horrible thing for them to do because of the first law of time. So they initially only send one, and they're not planning to send more versions of him. And then when things aren't going well because 2 and 3 can't fucking get along, they then have to make it worse and send the first version of the Doctor in as well. So they weren't planning to do more than one. But 2 and 3 were so horrible together that they needed one to get in there.
Immediately bickering in one of the most beautiful, one of the, like, funniest scenes in Doctor Who.
It's so amazing. My favorite thing about this is the decision to send one, because the Time Lords are watching 2 and 3 argue, and the video is muted.
I loved that.
My favorite detail. No one's listening to that.
Yeah. Benton is really happy to see 2, which I thought was really cute, because Benton met 2 really first.
He calls Benton my dear, and he also calls himself my dear, and I thought that was very cute.
Yeah, I do have a note of, like, is 2/3 anything, which Google Docs reformatted to a fraction, which I thought was really funny. My favorite Doctor Who ship, 2/3.
I like that 2 doesn't like the new TARDIS design. I thought that was funny. Is that this is the first instance of, like, another version being like, I don't like what you did to the TARDIS.
The first instance of the running bit of you've redecorated, I don't like it.
Yes.
Classic recurring bit.
Yeah.
He also, when explaining to Joe what's happening, because Joe doesn't know who this is, 3 says, I am he and he is me. And then Joe talks about the Beatles. And 2 has his recorder and is like, wait, how does it go? And 3 is like, will you shut the fuck up? We have bigger problems.
It's such a chaotic conversation.
This whole
It's
serial,
crazy.
2 is so worried about his recorder.
I know, I loved that.
And for good reason. It does get blown up.
It does get blown up to fuck.
There is a line later about that 3 says about recorders that when we get there, I will I will talk about. Oh my God, yeah. He doesn't
Um,
shut up about that thing.
can we talk about Contact?
Yes, that's
First,
my next note.
before we do, can we talk about the eye contact that 2 and 3 make sort of over Joe's shoulder? This
Hmm.
when is it when she asks who he is, or someone anyway? It's when shortly after 2 shows up, they make this really intense eye contact for a second, like
Hmm.
they're having a like, "Are we gonna tell them?" moment, and
Hmm.
it was crazy. It was new who crazy, like.
Yeah.
And then they make telepathic contact for about 24 straight minutes
The
of strobing
beeping
lights in
and
my
the
brain.
flashing. Oh my God, I was
Yeah,
losing
I
my
did
fucking
already have
mind.
a migraine starting the story.
How
That
did
was
that
actually them
Uh,
go?
I
trying to
knew
make
it was
contact
coming,
with
so I knew
you.
to look away. But it is hilarious. It was worth it. It's so fucking funny.
So both
So,
of them go,
listener,
yeah, sorry.
when the Doctor makes telepathic contact with himself, what they do is they both say contact, and then the sound design does like whoobles. It goes like and it very rapidly just cuts between shots of both of them, and then they're like, okay, yeah, we got it, we understand. It doesn't like voice over like what they're saying to each other. It's purely like we can skip over like these guys filling each other in, which I both find really fun as like a narrative device, and also why the fuck did you shoot it like that?
It's
I
so
I enjoyed the
grating.
hell out of that, actually. I was laughing so hard because I'm used to like gritty new who contact, where it's like
I only
intense and
found out about
blah.
this after the contact scene in Spyfall. I only saw the scene after that, and I
Oh
had
my
mutuals who
God.
were like re-editing the Spyfall contact to be like this, which is really
Yes!
good.
If you ever
I
find
haven't
He
those
found them
sent you
again.
edits,
that?
I have never found them again. I know I saw them when it was happening, and I've never found them again, but I know they exist. So like
Listeners,
listeners,
so
yeah.
funny.
please. That was almost canine. Um,
Yeah.
Two kept rubbing the flute on his lips. Did anyone else see
Hmm.
that?
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay.
I mean, I put in my notes somewhere, did he get gayer?
Yes, in
Like, yeah.
The
color,
more, yeah, the
because you can
more
see his
color
outfit
you
now.
have, the floral suspenders. That's
Yes! I
new.
So
That wasn't in the
good.
loved
original
that shit.
costume.
That was so good.
So good.
Also, this is the point where the Time Lords are watching them argue on mute, and they're like, well, fuck, this didn't work. You know what's gonna make it even better? We're gonna add a third doctor in there.
Yeah.
Was the first doctor in the time scoop? It looked like he was sitting in a triangle.
Maybe
N-
they're like really vague about where he is, but the point is that he has to like conference call in, mostly
Yeah, he doesn't
because
actually
William
appear.
Hartnell's health was not doing well enough for
Mm.
The
him to be able to be on like to remember lines on a like set
yeah,
and
he's
be
Right.
reading
doing
them
things.
very
Yeah.
much. The
Um.
story was that he was stuck in space time eddy,
Yeah.
um,
Poor guy.
and just stuck there.
I have a note for when he first shows up on the TARDIS monitor. I have the note: "Attention, Bajoran workers."
Yes.
uh, and then I was just imagining the Doctor as Goldacott, which was really funny to me, and I think maybe nobody else. But
It's funny to me.
yay!
Good luck and don't fuck it up.
And they do.
Fucking jigsaw. I want to play a game.
I love this. I love that he's not physically involved. He's just watching and
Hmm.
arbitrating. Um
Yeah.
Not
Also,
even
this is
really.
the
He
point.
just tells them to get on with it, pretty much.
He's just there to yell
This
at them a tiny bit.
this is also when he calls them a dandy and a clown.
This is
Icon,
good.
Line of all
Genuinely
time.
iconic.
iconic line. The two genders, etc.
So true.
I like
What
that
are
he
you
calls them
guys?
his replacements.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
that
was
is
cute.
the
Like, ugh,
Are y'all a dandy or a clown?
clown.
Oh, I'm non-binary.
Wait, sorry, I'm both. Dandy to some, clown to others.
So true. I
Sorry,
need
for the
that on a
listeners,
pin.
I'm currently wearing a tank top that says boyfriend to some, girlfriend to others. If that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Dandy to some, clown to others is
others
the
is
eighth. That's the
so
eighth
funny.
Doctor.
So true.
So true. Oh my God. I need to make a pin to give to Paul McGann at the next CT that says
Please
that.
do, actually.
That's
That's so good.
beautiful.
I'm gonna. I have blanks I can use. Anyway. Oh my God. Iconic. Love
Yeah,
it.
so how does part 1 end?
The time bridge.
The time
Uh,
bridge.
they're like, okay, you have to go through a black hole. And so 3 is like, okay, fuck, I'll do it. And so he walks out of the TARDIS and Joe runs after him and he's like, what? No. And then they both get got by the blob. And then
Eat it.
all 3 actors are credited as Doctor Who in the credits. Dr.who, which I thought
Yeah,
was so
which is
cute.
that's a thing. A fun fact about Doctor Who in general is that the character is credited as Dr. Who for until like the first few episodes with Eccleston do that.
Holy shit. I love
And
that.
that's a matter of tradition. That's a thing that like Davies wanted to make sure happen, and then got backlash for it, and then changed it to the Doctor.
Backlash
But
from
there's
who?
at least one episode where he's credited as Doctor Who, which is beautiful.
Who hates fun that much?
Doctor
You
Who
This
fans.
is coming, this is, okay, so true. This is coming from someone who in middle school, would get really upset when people would call him Doctor Who or spell it that way.
There is
Um,
such like a curve of like the
yeah,
like amount, like how big of a Doctor Who fan you are and whether you call him Doctor Who or not. It's like the
so
people who call
true.
him Doctor Who are either not Doctor Who fans at all or are very big Doctor Who fans.
Yep,
For sure. It's a perfect
exactly.
parabola of like
Yeah.
But yeah, that was part 1.
that was part 1. So then part 2, where do we start?
My first note is I'll get a grenade was for sure a Yates line first.
Yeah, he's
God, I
talking
miss
about
him
going
so
outside
much.
and blowing up the blob thing.
I would have done anything to see Mike Yates try to throw a grenade at Omega. Anything on Earth.
Um, two also says it's a pity she followed him about Joe getting got by the blob monster too, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah. The Briggs back with his stupid pills.
I love the Briggs reaction to seeing 2 again. He just
Yeah.
says,
Oh my
"Oh
God,
no."
I was losing my fucking mind because
Because
they
they're like
kept
in
explaining it
crisis
to him.
mode. Well, they're in crisis. The first bit of this is that they're in like crisis mode. It's like a thing is happening, and so the Brig doesn't initially register that this is not the correct Doctor, and then
Yes.
like slowly turns towards him, and it's like the note I have here is Brig face.
It's Brig face. It's classic Brig face. And he goes, "Oh no."
Then my
The
next note is old cunts being mean to each other.
Gorgeous.
So true. I have before that, 2 and Benton walk outside the TARDIS because the blob has calmed down and it like makes a move, but then it's fine. And 2 says, I think it was just hiccups of this blob creature, which was really cute. Also, his pants were so high. It was amazing. Like, notably so. Even more so in color.
It's so incredible.
Also, too, when he's trying to tell Brig that, like, and Brig's not listening, he says, I'm just a temporal anomaly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the things
I'm
where the
just a
Brig
girl is out. I'm just a temporal anomaly in.
I'm just a temporal anomaly. This is one of the
Diversity
things where This is one of the things where the Brig reacts like he has no idea what it could possibly mean when it could not be
I'm like,
clear to anyone
like,
who understands English.
Yeah, he blames
buddy,
the TARDIS for
yeah.
Yeah.
two being there. And there's a line. I can't remember who said this, if it was Benton or if it was Brig, but the line is shot poor Miss Grant off to heaven knows where. And he says, as long as he does the job, he can wear whatever face he likes.
I liked that line. I put that too.
Which was cute.
Progressive. This is a progressive workplace.
So progressive. Good for him.
That's a line I could also hear Kate saying. Like
For sure.
that's such a I think it's a Lethbridge trait of just being like, man, I don't care what the fuck is going on as long as you get the job done.
It has to be, right?
Like,
And this
Whatever
is so...
whatever your regeneration is your own problem.
And this is so different from how most characters, especially in New Who, treat regenerations, where they sort of, they have a really hard time believing that it is still the Doctor, even though their face is different. And the Brig is like, the Brig could not care less. He's like, yeah, it's the same guy. I don't even care which one it is. I don't care which one I have. Just give me one.
Yeah. The Brig and Benton are the only characters to, like, follow the 2 to 3 regeneration. So they're the only ones who knew 2 and then now know 3. So they're already kind of used to this idea of just like, yeah, sometimes he leaves and then shows back up with a different face. Sure.
It's so fun. It's honestly kind of refreshing after seeing so much New Who, like, angst about it. Either way, especially from, like, Clara. And just having someone be, like, having the Brig genuinely not care which Doctor he's got is hysterical to me.
As long as you deal with it off the clock, I don't care.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the difference is that he wasn't, like, actively fucking the Doctor, but he was, so moot point.
The Brig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about you talking about
the
Clara.
Brig's the character who knew the most of the Doctor's regenerations. Like, the only classic Doctor he doesn't spend any time with is 6.
God, it's so beautiful.
Well, 6 and 1. He encounters one briefly, like in this and in 5 Doctors, but he's like actively had adventures with 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Bring that guy back.
I love that for him.
He had to have been so fucking tired.
Yeah, bring Nicholas Courtney back from the dead.
I mean, they did
I would love
weird
to.
thing with 12 in
Oh
Death
my
in Heaven.
god, Cyberbrig.
Cyberbrig.
Somehow not the most disrespectful thing that Doctor Who has done to a dead actor, but that's a really, like, impressive... It's impressive that it's not that.
It's jaw-dropping, to be totally honest.
Who
They
would
made
thought
him
that was a good
salute.
idea?
Stephen Moffat.
God, Jesus.
Amazing. We're back on Gallifrey now. Sorry, we're back on the Doctor's
baby.
home planet now. I can't wait until I'm allowed to use that word on the Gallifrey Ad Nauseum podcast. We're back on the Doctor's home planet, and they're watching the screens, and the president and the chancellor are arguing again, and the main thing again is the first law of time, and there's a line that says, "But the first law of time must be obeyed," and the other one says, "It will be obeyed later."
This was so good.
Which I
Time Lords.
loved.
I love Time Lords so much. I also noted they keep talking about a time travel facility specifically.
What does that mean?
Like, I guess implying like research, or this is where the technology is housed, something like that. This is never really a thing later on, but just interesting to...
Like TARDIS birthing bays?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Something I'm noticing in the transcript is that the chancellor seems to outrank the president.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, this is
The
true.
chancellor gets called excellency, and the president gets no honorific.
Mhm.
They're
That's weird.
besties. They're besties. The president and the chancellor are always they're always
Fucking?
tight. Yeah.
Yeah, they're always
They're
fucking.
always, yeah. Um, sorry. No, they're not, actually. Sorry, I just remembered Valia's.
So true. Anyway, this is when we find out that one is stuck in a time eddy.
Hmm.
So he's uh hovering. Also, this is when they're talking all of this like techno babble about black holes and shit, which is so fun. And one line that I really liked, because they were like, okay, well, three got beamed into the black hole, and it's over the absolute event horizon. And the way they say it is
Hell
very like,
yeah.
ooh, and I loved hearing about it.
This is also
Um,
the first. Sorry,
yeah,
no.
God.
This is also the first of two mentions of the Time Lord's, I guess, mission or obligation to protect, for lack of a better term, like lesser species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting a pin in that for later.
Yeah.
And then we go
If they
to...
do not succeed, we shall lose our time travel facility and become as vulnerable as those we are pledged to protect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Wild.
weaklings.
Like, yep.
They have one thing special about them, and
Um,
they're really
and
weird about
then
it.
the president is like, I'm prepared to take that risk about like doing more stuff. This is very much like, some of you will die, but it is a risk I am willing to take.
Literally. That is so
Genuinely,
Time Lord, just in general.
it
This
is.
is
And it's always
also,
like, the doctor will die, but it is a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
and then he never fucking does.
They
Well, he
try.
I mean,
does,
that's
but he
why it's
doesn't
a risk
stay
they're willing to
dead.
take.
So true.
Yeah.
This is also, so you then go to Joe and 3 lying on the ground, and this is when we get Groovy Hell Part 2.
Yeah,
That's
yet
why
again.
every
Favorite.
time Joe wakes up somewhere she's not familiar with, she thinks she's died.
And she's always okay with this, is the
Yep.
thing that gets me.
Right.
And she will accept this as like, okay, these are my circumstances now. But she does believe that she's dead every
Yeah,
time.
Totally.
like truly.
You think she ever wakes up like after a party in someone else's living room on someone else's couch and she's like, this is it.
Yeah. And I love it. She starts to go like, "We're not," and the doctor just goes, "Joe,
He's like, no,
Joe,
we're
no."
still not dead. I'll tell you when we're
You know,
dead.
one of these times she's gonna be right.
God, don't say that. I can't think about.
No.
It was,
I
I'm
can't
sorry.
think about how old Katie Manning is.
That
and
was a
it's sad.
joke. No,
Okay,
we're not gonna go there.
Joe Grant will never die.
No,
that's true.
it's not possible.
But they do wake up in season 2, episode 4 of Severance, which was fun.
They're at the Ortbo.
They wake up at the fucking Ortbo. Um,
My next note is the lobby creature among us.
Among Us.
If you squint, they look like the Among Us guys.
they do. Amogus.
Yeah. If you put like a blur tool all over them,
Yeah.
I kind of
If you
want to
take
put.
your glasses off.
you take your glasses off. Among Us.
I was actually trying really hard to like get my vision blurry and like try to see what it would have looked like on an older TV at some point.
Mhm.
Just like the cool sparkly.
Well, just
Shiny
watch it
effects.
with a migraine at like 2 a.m.
So true.
I'll
So
try that
true.
next time.
Follow me for more hot gamer tips.
Oh, I forgot to mention earlier they were talking about antimatter because apparently when you go through you hitch a ride on the beam, you go through the black hole. past the absolute event horizon, and then you're in a place of antimatter. Um, which
Sure.
New Who did a whole serial about that called Flux,
Yeah.
which was interesting. Um, and then I can't remember who was talking about this. I think it was two that said the problem with antimatter is that you can see the effects but never the cause, which I also thought was really interesting. I don't know if that was two or three though. And then they start talking about the Invisible Man. I think it
Hmm.
was two.
Yes, too.
So the Invisible Man is antimatter. And
Yeah.
another line he says, which is relates to the Time Lords earlier. So two is talking to the Brig about the weird goo stuff that they're looking at in the lab. Um, and two says, "This stuff or whoever sent it is cleverer than we are. Unfortunate, isn't it?" Which is very Time Lord, as we've seen.
Hmm.
But the Doctor is like, it's cleverer than us. It's not like equal.
Yeah.
So he can conceive that maybe some things are better than them. But and then Brig immediately goes, "I must contact Geneva." She's like, what, to tell them about the goo in your lab? Like, what are you gonna tell them?
Yeah, like, hey, he needs an adult, is what he's saying.
Yeah. He's gotta call his mom.
Like,
And then
can you come
two,
pick me up? There's goo
It's
and
getting
everything's
scary.
disappearing.
there's goo.
My scientist is gone.
My
And then
scientist is
two,
age regressing.
Literally.
true. Oh,
Um,
baby Benton.
Baby Benton.
Then it's
Benton calls the creature an overgrown blancmange. Was this a Monty Python reference? That
it
people would
has
have.
to have been.
I mean, it was only a couple years after that sketch.
Then yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Considering that we've got Beatles reference in this, I think we're doing pop culture now.
I think we are doing
Yeah,
pop culture now because that made me
John
laugh really
Cleese.
hard.
John Cleese is in a Doctor Who episode in
He is
but
uncredited. That was part of his contract for doing that. That
yeah.
he didn't want to be credited for it, which rules.
So funny.
But Two and Benton are now alone with this goo, keeping an eye on it. And Two says, "Keep it confused, feed it useless information. I wonder if I have a television set handy." He doesn't, but it's funny to hear someone on TV say that.
Yeah. People on TV love to say how stupid TV is. Really makes you think
I
about society.
I'm the goo.
Yeah, that's how people talk about me.
Um,
Benton immediately throws a gum wrapper at it and pisses it off,
yeah, I have
which is so
I have a note
great.
here like leaving Benton alone with the gadget always goes well.
I
Ah,
mean, genuinely within 25 seconds, he's irreparably pissed it off.
Yeah.
Um, and it goes wild, and they all have to retreat into the TARDIS. This is how we get everybody, including the Brig and the TARDIS again. Um,
which he says one of the funniest fucking things. And he thinks that the Doctor has been building a TARDIS on Unit's dime this entire time.
Which is hilarious to me. Like that's a really funny line. And then I start thinking about like, well, you've been in Bessie. You know what he is actually spending this money on. You've known this the whole time.
Before that, though, we get a little scene of Joe and Three in the antimatter universe, in the quarry.
Mhm.
We're back in the quarry. And now there's props in there, which was really cute because they're just kind of lined
Yeah.
up of all the stuff that the blob
Like we
has
we
disappeared.
literally like production department like unloaded a bunch of random objects onto a beach.
A water
Not into
cooler.
a
Yeah.
quarry.
A water cooler, the Briggs computer, the door to the lab. And they do this
It's
really
really
cute bit
good.
where Joe goes behind it and it's like, it's locked. And 3 says, well, it says no admittance. And it's just this chunk of wall and door in the
Yeah.
doorway.
They're so cute.
Bessie's here.
Bessie's back,
Bessie's
baby.
back.
They
And
get
they're
into
like,
their gay little car and go for a gay little drive.
And they're
well,
doing bits
he's
about
like,
that too. They have no idea
he's,
where they are or what's happening,
uh-uh.
and they're just doing bits. They're having a great time.
Well, they get in and he's like, okay, where to? And she's like, twice around the park. And he's like, yeah, of course. And then they take off to
Yeah.
who knows where.
This is when I started taking notes of being like, this has vibes of like Wizard of Oz shit. Of like
Yeah.
we've done a portal fantasy where like we're in a new place that's like strange and works by different rules. Which I'm a Wonderland guy, but Wizard of Oz seemed to be the one that they were more pulling from. Which is interesting because they're not American, and Wizard of Oz is very American.
Mm.
Like the British
This
one you
is,
usually pull from is Wonderland, but this is not doing Wonderland. It's doing Wizard of Oz.
yes. This is also where we see Mr. Alice from episode 1, the working class man with a gun, wandering around
Mm-hmm.
the stone quarry because he got transported there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like we see that
and
he is alive.
Dr. Tyler is also there.
Yeah, he's drawing E equals MC squared in the sand.
Like that
And
will
then
help.
he looks
I
up and says, I must have traveled faster than the speed of light.
I
You and I do
really
science.
I really like what he says after that though. He says, "By definition, the light here must be traveling backwards, but I can still see." Which I really liked that. I mean, okay, like I
Weird.
studied vision in university, so that I don't know, that made me happy. Cuz like yeah, if light was traveling backwards, you couldn't see anything cuz it wouldn't be going. I mean, it depends. He has a
Can you
point.
make light travel? Can you
Wait,
make light travel
sorry.
backwards?
No. That's fake.
Okay.
But if it like wasn't going into your eyes the same way that it
Yeah.
does, you wouldn't see anything. I
Okay.
don't know.
I'm looking at the transcript. Did we get the first jelly baby?
I was gonna ask that. Was this the first Jelly Baby?
Because that's
I
wild.
never heard that before 4, or so I thought. Kind of fun.
I'm checking the ancient scrolls. TARDIS.wiki. Jelly baby. List of appearances. I first opened the Dominators with the second Doctor, so it's like it's a 2 thing before it's a 4 thing. It's
Oh.
only this and the Dominators that he has them, but like he does do this thing in both of those episodes.
Interesting.
But like 3 never does it.
I don't think I've
3 is
ever
much
seen
too
it.
dignified to do that.
3
He doesn't eat
is
sugar.
well, 3 realizes that jelly babies are kind of ass.
I have another quote, and this is talking about, I'm pretty sure 3 says this, that they're on a stable world within the universe of antimatter, an anomaly within an impossibility, which I
Hell
really
yeah,
liked
man.
that line.
It's
But
really
it was
fun.
at this point that I accidentally something boiled on my stove when it shouldn't have. So I had to run and try to fix it, which was I was trying to fix my little bottle of honey because it had crystallized, but then the water boiled and shrunk the container. And there was just a lot going on, so I might have missed a few things while I was trying to fix that.
I'm obsessed with you. Not a whole lot happened
Brig wanted to get
in
out of
that
the
part.
TARDIS. He said, "Let me out."
Brig hated it. He wanted to go so bad.
Brig wants to go home.
I also have some damn fool flute in all caps.
That was the Brig.
Yeah.
Was it? Wait.
I don't know. Also, that the TARDIS force field prevents communications. I thought was really interesting because I feel like when I've seen it, it has not done that.
Yeah, it does that when the plot needs it to.
Yeah.
Word.
Like most things the TARDIS
Yeah.
does.
Benton
She's in a bad mood today.
Benton in this whole scene looks like he's about to cry because the Brig is losing his mind and Two is just, doing whatever the fuck he's doing. And
Yeah,
then Benton's in the background, like quivering lip, like fuck my
Benton is
entire life.
Benton is really
Mom and Dad
worried
are
about
fighting.
Benton is really worried about 3 and Joe
Yeah.
throughout this entire scene. He's genuinely very upset that they're gone.
Yeah.
So that's
And like the doctor like asks about this and like asks if he's worried about them. And then his line here is like, I shouldn't worry too much if I were you. In fact, I'd rather envy them. I think they're having a
Yeah.
very interesting time.
I loved that.
I love when the doctor's like a scientist in the like he's just really curious about things way.
Mm-hmm.
saying that line to the Brigadier and Benton it reads very much as like, may you live in interesting times to them. They don't love this.
They don't love this. I love this.
I love it. I think he's so right. Back in Antimatter World,
They get captured.
they get captured by. So who gets captured? It's all 4 of them, right? 3,
I just think
Joe,
Ollis is
Three.
there.
Hollis, and
3 of them.
Tyler.
No,
Is Ollis
doesn't
there?
get Alice doesn't get captured because he's still wandering the moors. He and the Brig team up later. It's just
Right, okay.
it's just Joe
God, he and the
Turkey,
Brig
and
take stupid pills together.
they really fucking do. It's
It's
amazing.
so great.
Oh my God. But yeah, they get captured, and Dr. Tyler is like, we need to fucking escape. And 3 is like, no, I want her to get captured on purpose because I need to figure out who's in charge and talk to them. And Dr. Tyler is like, yeah, okay. Well, I guess I won't make a break for it then. And then he turns and immediately makes a break for it and is running through, oh my God, beautiful set. They're
Mhm.
inside the quarry, as they always fucking are, on alien worlds. There's a stone entrance. But the inside, oh my God, glittery, bubbly as fuck, colorful. I loved every second of it.
The crystal candy
We're in the
flowers.
Emerald City, you might say,
Yes,
except for it's red.
It's
so
so
true.
gorgeous. And the creatures finally match, like I was talking about.
Yes, they do.
We also see the
This
creatures
rem-
a lot more up close now because
Mhm.
they're standing behind
Mhm.
them. And this is when I noticed the eyeball that they had. So good.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Oh, the transcript
Also
is calling them gels.
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 Ooh.
Gel as in goo.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
They're a different kind.
The doctor says something. I don't
Gel
remember
as in testosterone.
the tea
Um,
monsters.
monster.
They're gonna
That
force
is
mask you.
only.
The doctor says something. I don't remember the context of this quote, but I wrote it down. He says, "Superior intelligence and senseless cruelty just do not go together." Said the Time Lord.
Said the Time
Yeah,
Lord.
come on.
So,
Real
like,
quick about the set that I
yeah,
was gonna say earlier in our talking is that when my older siblings were in high school, the high school prom committee was like headed up by the head of the art department of the school. And oh my God, the proms were decorated so like themed and decorated so amazingly. They literally held like community walkthroughs to see it. And the ones that I remember going to, this was like a highlight of every year of growing up. It was my fucking favorite thing. One of them was Wizard of Oz, and high school was like pretty big, and they would, yeah, you'd like walk all through it, and different rooms were different things. And this set reminds me of like walking into that building and then being like in another world. And they also did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and they had an everlasting gobstopper machine. Anyway, that's what this set
Yeah.
reminds me of, like the type of magic you feel when you did like a prom walkthrough in my hometown when
that's
I
so
was really
cute.
little. And it was adorable.
It's
Also,
cute.
when Dr. Tyler runs away, it's really sparkly, but it's also incredibly slow.
Hmm.
Like the gels do not move very fast, and so he's like running and freaking out, but everything else is moving really slowly. And he actually just ends up running in a big circle and ends up back imprisoned with the Doctor and Joe.
Yeah, it doesn't go well. They are fully captured. They're trying to explain they're trying to explain how this place exists in an antimatter universe because theoretically nothing should exist. And the doctor does a bit of sleight of hand, and then he describes it as this place is a scientific conjuring trick of a very high order. I
Yes.
really liked that.
I have
And
that noted too. It was
like
a good
block
line.
Hmm.
transfer, anyone, scientific magic, mathematical magic.
Hell yeah.
Love Doctor Who.
I'm not smart enough for this. Can you explain?
Um,
It's
I'm
a
gonna.
thing in with the Fourth Doctor. I don't have that on the. I don't know. I need to pull up the watch list. Hang
I
on.
don't think we're gonna watch Legopolis.
Unless we do it
Basically,
as a bonus.
we could. It's good.
I was trying to remember whether I put Legopolis on the bonus episode list, which
It's the
I'm checking right
last
now.
Fourth Doctor serial, and you're introduced to the concept of block transfer computation, which is basically thinking about math so hard that you create stuff out of thin air.
I put
Um,
Horns of Naimon where it would fit.
Oh, fucking awesome. Okay, thank
um,
you. That's
and
all
it's
I
used
needed to know.
that's theoretically what like the TARDIS interiors are made of, and like tons of other
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Like I think in um not Renaissance. Is it Renaissance in Gallifrey when Leela and Romana are about to theoretically go off on an adventure
Yeah,
because Trey's exiled them,
yeah,
and Romana sees something wrong with the wall in the TARDIS, and she says something about a rogue block transfer computation. Like that's
yeah.
what she's on about, and it's just
Oh my
like it's
God.
reminded me
Okay.
of that.
I had no idea what she meant.
Yeah, it's
Or
like
wait, is it Leela that sees it and then Romana's like, it's probably just this.
yeah, yeah, because that's like what Time Lords build stuff out of
Interesting.
sometimes.
Okay.
Because it's
Yeah,
like
that
it's
tracks.
math. Yeah, it's like math magic, and
Classic.
that's what this reminded me of. Anyway, massive sidebar. Um,
We're back in the TARDIS with two and Benton and Brig. And one shows up on the little screen. I don't remember what they talk about, but the Brig is like, who the fuck is that? And two doesn't tell him that it's him, which
I
I
mean,
think
what
is
would be the
just
point?
so funny.
this is a surprise old guy that will help us later. No, they're
Oh,
just
also,
saving that for the bit at the end.
I also thought it was so interesting, in that little scene that you were just talking about with the conjuring trick, which the doctor changes a pencil into plastic flowers and then he drops them in the hallway. And that is a little bit of plastic that will help us later. Um, but he's talking about how their bodies have been converted to the antimatter universe as well because they went through the beam, which like what do we know what that means? I thought it was really interesting, but I'm not sure what the implications were.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't know what's
Like
going
you're
on.
yourself, but you're also not anything, which is
We're in a
bizarre.
land of imagination.
Yeah, they're made
Yeah.
of whatever
Well,
the
we're in
same.
Oz, first of
We're
all.
not. They're just made of the same stuff that everything else is made of, I guess.
Mm.
Imagination and dreams and
And this brings
willpower.
And
us
if you didn't believe me about Oz, the entire lab gets brought through.
the entire unit headquarters gets brought through.
Yeah,
The
This is
building,
we get a
such a
shot of
great
the whole
shot.
building going through the black hole.
which is
We're
so Wizard of Oz. God, you're a
Which the
genius.
note I have is the like Dewan Master quote, "A bit wicked wit to the west," but you get the gist.
Yep. It's a really good shot.
So true.
Um,
At this point, this is when I started going all in. I'm like, okay, this is Wizard of Oz. We're doing Wizard of Oz. My first note for episode 3 is, God, Omega looks so stupid.
Mine is Omega!
Mine is, Joe's assessment of this hell is, it's fabulous.
It's fabulous. It's
It
groovy.
is fabulous. And then I have Omega.
Joe Grant, I love you. Can we talk about pronunciation for a second? Can we talk about how British people can't be real? It's upsetting to me.
I was copying what was said in the show, but that's not how I say it in real life.
Yeah, I do tend to say it. I do tend to, if I'm talking about the Doctor Who character, say Omega, but that's stupid.
It is stupid. Personally, if I'm talking about the character, I'm always going to say Omega. I would never say it in any other context. Like, to me, that's just a different word.
Yeah. It's like Data Star Trek.
Yeah.
Has that bit about how, like, Data isn't his name.
Exactly. Like, I will forgive the English once for this.
Nothing else, though.
But like, this whole episode, Benton saying Omega.
So funny. He's like, who's this Omega chap? And they're like, Omega?
Omega calling the Doctor Brother Time Lord made me insane.
Can I say something?
Yeah, I wrote down, the Doctor seemed to know him.
If you know what I mean. Ali is speechless.
Because they continue this, right? Every time Omega shows up in anything else, he calls Time Lords like his brothers and sisters. Rassilon calls them all sons and daughters.
Say more.
I don't know if I
Do
should.
it, please. This is what this podcast is for.
It's so, like, first of all, not to even get into Gallifreyan family structures. That's a whole thing later.
As in?
A whole fucking thing.
It's a whole fucking thing.
A whole fucking thing.
I've been reading pre-Lungbarrow Usenet threads.
Oh my god. What's that even like?
It's the trenches. Everybody's putting forward their really convoluted ideas as to what Gallifreyan family, or like whether and how Gallifreyans fuck, and it's like, oh, you're all wrong.
Oh my god.
Every single one of you.
Got a big storm coming. No one's ever had a bigger storm coming.
Anyway, you were saying that you don't know if you should say it, and I want to know what you were saying.
I mean,
I can cut it out if you want me to.
I mean, it's just, to me, extremely horny in all directions.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically, between Rassilon and Omega. So, like, if the Time Lords are Rassilon's children and they're Omega's brothers and sisters, like, what's that between them? What are we doing here? What are any of us doing here? Because I think they were fucking, first of all. I know they were fucking. I was there.
Well, a thing that's interesting about this is that Rassilon's not here. Rassilon's not mentioned.
Rassilon? We don't have Rassilon yet. He hasn't been invented yet.
Rassilon hasn't been invented yet. They don't even have Rassilon.
They don't even have Rassilon.
They don't even have the rod of Rassilon.
That it's not the founding fathers of Gallifrey. It's the founding father of Gallifrey, and it's Omega.
The founding
sibling
brother of Gallifrey, even.
Founding some guy.
The founding guy. Yeah. That's a really interesting point, actually, and I thought about that too, because, like, realizing that this is pre any mention of Rassilon puts Omega on a much higher level than he is later on in, like, the hierarchy. So, I don't know, for me, it kind of changed it changed the color.
I mean, Nuhu's forgotten about Omega.
Oh,
Bring
completely.
him back. Cowards.
Um, but it
Like, they've somehow forgotten about Omega more than they've forgotten about the other, and they don't even mention the other.
yeah, I mean, the whole point about the other is that they forgot who he was.
Yeah.
And then, so he's just, I mean, that guy's just gone. But having, like, just Omega be this figure and no Rassilon yet puts a different kind of tint on his whole I could have been a god thing to me.
Yeah.
And, like, his hero status. Because
And
after this...
it's so interesting.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Once we do get Rassilon, he's very much, like, the second in command after that, from then on. Like, despite being the hero who did all the stellar engineering and stuff, like, I don't know, it becomes a different story once we get Rassilon.
Yeah. And, like, the thing that, like, kind of makes me insane is that it parallels the fact that, like, in the in-universe narrative we have is that Rassilon, like, exiled and overshadowed Omega and, like, relegated him to this, like, mythological status to, like, almost disempower him, to just be like, oh, this hero did this thing and died because of it, and we can move on from there. And that, like, paralleling, like, what's actually happened in the show, which is Omega was the guy who was here doing things, and then now we just don't think about that guy and know who at all.
Yeah, he really does just disappear.
Did y'all notice
in a very
that
strange way.
Omega's cape was the same fabric and pattern, but a different color as the president and the chancellor on Gallifrey?
I
It
didn't
is.
notice that.
I
That is
didn't.
true.
Isn't
I
that
like
a
that.
cute little touch? I deeply enjoyed
Hello?
that.
That's a lot of fun.
I also wanted to say that Omega says he has been grievously wronged, and I am very Star Wars brained at the moment, and I was imagining General Grievous being there, and I just thought that was fun.
I used to be so fucking into Star Wars.
I've never had a good Star
Um,
Wars viewing experience besides once, so
We can we can
yeah,
change that.
We can arrange
I'm
this.
We can
I'm
arrange
up
it.
to try, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
If enough of you subscribe to our Patreon, we're gonna watch Star Wars.
I will try
Yeah.
again, as I've been
Pay us to watch
trying
Star
for
Wars.
15 years to watch Star Wars.
Hell yeah. Anyway,
Coruscant ad nauseum,
Um,
or any planet.
Omega is the solar engineer. He is supposed to find and create the power source for time travel. And he yells, "I was sacrificed in that supernova. A hero? I should have been a god!" And is just like going off the fucking rails. Does anyone want to describe what he looks like also?
I don't know if I can.
I don't know if I can. He is. He looks. He
You can't see his face. He's wearing a helmet, is what I was getting at. You don't actually see
for
his
sure, for
body.
sure.
You see his armor that he's wearing.
Yeah.
Putting a pin in this for Wizard of Oz reasons. This is the wizard.
Oh
by the
my
way.
god!
Exactly.
Fucking genius.
He's like both the wizard and
I
the
get it.
Wicked Witch. I have a note of him saying, "You will face the wrath of Omega. You and those miserable humans who accompany you, which is, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too."
Oh my god! So true!
Oh my god.
This is the Wizard of Oz. We're watching the Wizard of Oz right
Fucking
now.
genius.
I love the Wizard of Oz.
I have a note that
Yeah, no, he's got this mask on. It's actually I kind of like the mask. I think it's
Do you guys remember the Omega like costume that was just like standing there at Chicago TARDIS
yes.
yes.
in the hallways? That was like it was right across from
I have a picture with that.
my university booth, which meant that I was just sitting
Staring
there.
at Omega.
It was staring at us.
That's what
Yeah.
that was.
You know the
When
really
we were
awesome
setting
thing
up
about that?
our booth, when we were setting up our booth, they moved it in the middle of us setting up, and we didn't notice them moving it, so it looked like it had just walked to a different place on its own. It was so scary.
The really awesome thing about that costume is it's complete, even when nobody's inside it.
Yeah.
So true.
That's fun.
I have a note that says Omega is worse
I
than
think I have a picture of me
Rassilon.
standing
You
next
do,
to
because
it.
I took it. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And you were like, something. And I was like,
I was like, don't
okay,
worry about it.
whatever you say, babe. Smile.
Okay, yay.
Literally. I had no idea what was going on.
I really like Omega as a character. If anyone hasn't picked up on that yet, I think he's really neat.
He's so, like, a fucking Skeletor, like, cartoon villain.
Okay, Stephen Thorne does crazy things in that. Stephen Thorne plays Omega. Is it Thorne?
I don't know.
Did I make that up?
I think so.
Well, it's right
Hold on.
now.
Yes, it is Stephen Thorne.
I said it's
What?
right now.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
correct. Okay, sorry. I thought you said right now is in timing.
It's now.
I was
It's
like, what's
right
now?
now.
Anyway, Stephen Thorne, who voices Omega. I think he's actually in the costume.
I hope he's actually in the suit.
I think he is. Anyway, he does crazy things. He, like, firing on all cylinders, just shouting everything. He has some of my favorite line deliveries. Like, I mean, it's later. It's in episode 4. We'll get to it. But he walks in on the doctors who have escaped their prison, and he yells, "What?" And he's just fantastic. Sorry, I totally forgot what we were talking about.
We were just talking about Omega.
We go back to, like, 2 and Benton and the brig. And the brig's freaking out because they're on a beach now. And he's like...
Do we think...
You think...
Hands up, who thinks the Brigadier has actually been to a beach before?
For the
I don't think
listeners,
he knows.
nobody raised their hands.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what the beach looks like.
He sees sand.
I think we're meant to understand that this is a beach, even though we can see that it's a quarry.
Yeah, because I guess 2, I think, described it as sandy.
Yeah.
Someone described it as being sand as far as the eye could see.
The real thing is that the brig doesn't know what a desert is, so this is the only place he thinks sand exists.
That's true.
The thing I wanted to get at is one of the lines he has is, "We're probably miles from London."
Now the international repercussions.
He's not in Kansas anymore.
Yes.
They're
That
not.
means Benton is Toto, which is...
You're a genius.
I love that. Also, right before that scene, when they're
It's true.
still talking to Omega, they're like, how are you surviving? And he says, how does anyone survive? Force of will. Mind over antimatter. Boo.
He thinks he's so
says he
funny.
Such a great line. Such a great line followed by such a terrible
Yes.
pun immediately.
And he says that, like, you
Yeah,
can
he's a Time
exist
Lord.
in both worlds. And I was like, cool, he's bisexual. It keeps
Yeah.
Well, he's bisexual. I didn't know that.
keeps calling the doctor brother, and then says, I think, a really great line, because the doctor is like, okay, well, what the fuck are you doing? Why am I here? And they're talking about the Time Lords, and Omega says, it pleases me to use you against them.
So, like, I want to bring the other into
Yes!
this and the fucking
Please.
Carmel Master Plan.
Thank you.
I think that Omega recognizes him.
This is for sure where all that starts. Because they're talking about even like Joe and Dr. Tyler are like, yeah, Omega definitely knew who the doctor was. Like they recognized each other and
they know each other, not just that the doctor knows him.
Right. Like Joe says they were deadly enemies.
Did we talk about who the other is, by the way? Like a little
should mention
context
that for anyone who doesn't
Yeah.
know.
of like what? Yeah, the
I mean, the concept is just that there's another guy.
it's called the other.
So the The concept is the three founders were Rassilon, Omega, and someone else who history kind of forgot, so they just call him the other.
Yeah.
It's, quote, the
Or
other one.
like the Gallifreyan Society makes a point of calling him the other. Like that is, and that's like kind of tied in with like a version of continuity where the Doctor's namelessness is like a point and like part of his punishment. So like getting erased from history is like a meaningful thing that involves losing your name.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is part
They
of that.
oubliated him.
Not quite. Oublietting is different.
Anyway, three founders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Rassilon, Omega, and the other, and there's
Yeah.
a whole thing.
Something happened to the other. Or the other did something that was scandalous and left.
Allie has theories.
Hit the bricks.
Allie has theories. Allie has genius theories.
I mean, we're gonna get into it when we get to Long Barrow.
So true.
But
I mean, that's gonna be a bit, but yeah.
But yeah, that's the basic concept. So
I need to add in bonus episodes for like Remembrance of the Daleks and Silver Nemesis and shit.
I will be so annoying. You're not.
Damn, I'm gonna unsubscribe from Patreon.
I'm half Cardinal Master Plan truther on my mother's side.
Yeah.
Like, not fully. Let's be real. But enough that it makes me insane. But that's definitely where a lot of this comes from. Also, side note, Omega's little throne room he's got this kind of like, anyway, all I'm saying is this is like Orientalist catnip to Mark Platt specifically, for sure.
Yeah.
Can you say more about that?
I mean, it's a sidebar, but Mark Platt, who wrote Time's Crucible and Long Barrow, which are like big Gallifreyan lore stories, which feature like the time period that Omega was from, have very strong Orientalist undertones. All of his stories do. A huge majority of them do. It's just a thing he does. But like seeing Omega sitting in his little throne area with that chair and those statues, I was like,
and they definitely build more on that in Omega's next appearance with Arc of Infinity. Those aesthetics become like the main, like his helmet looks very different.
Yeah, it becomes a whole thing. Anyway, the
racism power hour.
Racism power hour for sure. But yeah, so we basically have Omega and the Doctor. Which doctors are here now? Is it both of them?
No, not yet.
They're both around.
Real quick about the brig and the beach. There's this really beautiful shot of when he's like, I'm going out to blah, blah, blah. He opens the door and then looks directly back at the camera and goes, there's sand everywhere!
I did really like this.
This is when I first started like putting in my notes. The brig is kind of stupid in this.
A little bit, yeah. And he's like, yeah, the whole like, we're miles
Stupid
from
pills.
London, and then he's like, you mean we're not even in England? There'll be international repercussions. And then
he's so worried about the paperwork he's gonna have to do for
goes,
this.
dear, oh dear, oh dear, and hits himself.
Everybody's having a pretty bad time from
and he
here
can't
on
find
out.
his fucking recorder, and Benton is like, when are you gonna face the facts? You've lost your recorder, and that's that. And he's really fucking annoyed about it.
This is legitimately the kind of breakdown I have whenever I like lose my headphones. I lost my headphones after a class I was in last week, and I was legitimately like, I was having a breakdown. I was having this kind of breakdown. I'm just like, I can't cope with like anything in my life if I don't have my headphones.
I mean, it's pretty real.
There's also a line,
but Benton is saying, "Face it, Tegan, he's drowned."
Yeah.
There's another line earlier,
Your recorder has drowned.
earlier when they land, and I think someone says something about like, oh, like can we just use the communicator and let them know? And Two goes, it hasn't quite got the range because they're now on the other side of a black hole. And he describes the
She doesn't have the range.
he describes the whole process of like the whole building getting taken as taking a pill with a swig of water. So instead of just taking him, it took the entire environment around him so that it would get him, which I thought was a good. Maybe the brig would understand that. Who knows if he did? He had to go run out and
He's
play in
too
the sand.
busy doing paperwork in his
Yeah,
mind about like this incident, doing an incident
I
report.
have.
He's too busy looking into the camera.
Brig has no brain cells, I
I do
fear.
think that this is like a lot of Briggs like stupid pills in this are being so like
Hmm.
bureaucracy brained, are being like
Definitely.
he's thinking about how home office will see any of
He
this,
also continues to run.
and so
Sorry.
like trying like he's like fully like thinking about like how he's not just being stupid for his own sake. He's being stupid to like figure out how to narrativize this for the job he has.
Even right through the very end when
Mm-hmm.
he ropes Benton into checking around, making sure everything came back right.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about. He just wants to clock out and go home.
He also continues to
Truly.
run with no gun safety. Um, once again.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, so we're still in Omega's throne room arguing.
Yeah.
The doctor wants him to come back to Gallifrey. They're trying to find. So Omega wants to leave the antimatter universe and go back to Gallifrey and get the recognition he thinks he deserves and or get revenge on the Time Lords because he thinks the Time Lords abandoned him on purpose, basically to rot in the antimatter universe after his accident.
Mm-hmm. Which, you know, they might have.
Which, like, people do get into that later. They really might have, and yeah. So basically, he either wants to go home, and if he can't go home, he's gonna destroy the
Kill
entire.
everyone now.
Yeah, kill everyone and destroy the entire universe. Those are his options.
Yeah, I have the word tantrum is in my
Me
notes a few
too.
times.
Several times.
They talk about the
So basically, the doctor is trying to reason with him about all of this.
they talk about the phenomenon of
Yeah.
singularity, um, which is interesting. Also, the Sonic is useless in this world, is what 3 says. Does anyone know why? Okay.
Plot
But
reasons.
I mean, I think it's
Convenience.
still before the Sonic is like an everything gadget, so I don't know why it would have been useful anyway. Like that is a screwdriver. I don't.
Oh, they're talking. I have
Yeah.
that note because the doctors and Joe and Dr. Tyler are now together. And I think Benton is there too. And they get put in this like cell.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like wills, as in like the force of will. And Joe
Mhm.
is like, okay, well, why don't you two doctors will there to be a door here? And so they contact a door into existence, which
When I
And
contact
it's
my
TARDIS
door.
it's
blue.
very cute. Um,
Yeah.
I also have Benton being there just in general is so funny. Like, what is he doing there? Scooped up.
Yeah. Mean.
Where else
Yeah.
would he be? You know, he's still.
This is when he and Joe,
It really is like we've got the whole Scooby Gang
yes,
together. Like,
this is when he and Joe hold hands also.
Yes.
yay.
Before this, I think just one thing I wanted to say because the doctor is trying to reason with Omega about, or the doctors plural,
are trying to reason with Omega and bring him home. And there's a bit where uh, it's just Patrick Troughton and Stephen Thorne shouting over each other for a second, and it's my favorite. It's the greatest day of my life. I love acting. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe and Benton holding hands,
And then they go to
linking arms.
the doctor's going to the singularity chamber, which I was wondering, like, how does that feel as a Time Lord to witness, like, the beam of
Bad.
singularity? Because you know how weird they
Ah.
get around the Eye of Harmony. Is it like similar? Is it
I'd imagine so.
It has to be pretty weird. But it is pretty much just a fog machine. So, from what we see, they don't really react to it. There's a moment of like, wow,
singularity?
amazing. And then
Well, and then Omega walks in and
singularity. He goes, what?
then doctors
No such thing as an overreaction, King.
So
Keep
true.
yelling.
the doctors are like, we're gonna use our wills to overpower yours. And I actually loved that it was about like the will of the people involved instead of like physical strength. However,
Hell yeah, the will of the people. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
however, I am fucking obsessed with Omega being like, okay, well, one of you has to fight the dark side of my mind. Excuse me?
His sick and twisted mind.
This scene is so unnecessary
My
in
my
the
my note
greatest
here
way.
is opens my mind and shows you the little freak living in there.
Who also has a really weird look.
I don't know what made me put this reference in here, but earlier than this, I have this power of friendship. Can it pay off gambling debt?
I wrote if
Which
Omega
I think was
didn't.
about the like willpower thing.
It is because this willpower thing comes back in at least one other Omega appearance that I remember, which is Intervention Earth, where it's a similar thing. Like people join wills to defeat him, and I said if he didn't want to be defeated by the power of friendship all the time, he shouldn't have got stuck in a universe controlled by willpower.
Yeah.
Rookie
This
mistake.
power of friendship. Can it pay off gambling debt?
Can it pay off gambling debt?
There was a great Charlie audio about that, actually.
About the power of friendship paying. Which one?
They're on this like casino type ship, and
I've not gotten to it.
was-
It must be one of the ones I haven't gotten
No,
to.
that was Six
oh
and
fuck,
Charlie.
that was 6 and Charlie. My bad.
That was the Condemned.
That
I
was not
definitely
the
haven't gotten
condemned.
to
That
that
was
one.
about
Was it
building that eats
no, not the
people.
Condemned.
The other one,
No,
yeah.
I know which one
Yeah.
you mean though.
Yeah,
Raincloud
Rain Cloud
Man.
Man. Okay, sorry. There's a 6 Charlie audio where the power of friendship does pay off gambling debt.
Yay!
It's a really good audio.
It
I missed
is.
that one.
Yeah, so while 3
Three fights the
Three
creature.
is fighting the dark side of Omega's mind, Joe finds the plastic flowers.
Again, we're back at the racism power
So
hour, by the
true.
way.
Are we doing Phantom of the Opera now? Have we moved from Wizard of Oz to Phantom of the Opera just for this portion? Because now it's all about
Very briefly, yeah.
very briefly, because this dark side of Omega's mind is like a horrible, scary monster, and like this is maybe sort of how he sees himself or something. And the mask and all
Yeah.
that. It's just very slow-mo.
Yeah, the sound design was really
then it's
interesting
over.
too because there wasn't any music and also you didn't hear any of like the hitting. So and it's like in like this
Yeah.
really dark expanse like chiaroscuro type shit. The lighting wise. So it was really interesting that they didn't just make it like a fight sequence.
Yeah, I have. My note is mind wrestling goes crazy.
It's so
That-
good. It's so like we needed to fill out the last few minutes of this
Well, and at
episode.
the same time, Joe finds the flowers that the doctor turned the pencil into earlier and dropped. And she's like, oh, great, we're at the main entrance tunnel. And then they're able to escape because of that, which I thought was cute as well. And my final note for part 3 is Time Lords are like, let's throw all the doctors into a black hole. This will fix everything. And then it does. Yeah,
And it does.
when in doubt.
They do just throw the doctor at problems.
Yeah.
When they're escaping the palace, there's a really funny bit of like Joe asks where they're going, and the brig says Unit HQ, and Joe's confused by this, and then he goes, "It's nearer than you think."
Part 4 opens and we're still witnessing telepathic sex between 3 and the dark side. It's getting kind of dire. The doctor's not winning.
Yeah. He kind of just gives up. It sucks, and so he hits the bricks.
The yellow bricks.
The yellow brick.
I'm getting
hits
it.
the yellow
I'm
brick
getting
road.
it.
Yeah.
He calls it a most interesting demonstration when Omega stops.
2 asks Omega to will him a recorder into existence.
And Omega pauses and looks at 3 and says, "Are you sure that you and he are of the same intelligence?"
And 3 goes, just ignore him. He's
just because you're not musical.
Yeah, he says just ignore him. He's incorrigibly frivolous. And then 2 says just because you're not musical. And someone says you raggle and babble of pipes. Who says that? Okay.
That's Omega.
Yeah. I mean, the bitchiness of Time Lord society really goes right to the
so
roots.
good.
Yeah.
And then Omega yells his own name a bunch. And this is when he finds out that if he leaves, this entire world will collapse because his will is the only thing willing anything into existence there.
Mm-hmm.
So he calls himself...
Can we talk about...
Sorry. He calls himself the Atlas of his world. A prisoner of my own power and creation, which I thought was very Time Lord. I feel like that happens to them a lot.
I was gonna say, like, we gotta talk about this scene because this whole sort of back and forth and monologue is Omega saying, like, the quote is, like, this is the sort... No. Yeah, so he's talking about the light beam, and he's saying... Like, I created it, I alone, and it's not enough. None of it is enough. I am still trapped. And this is the most Time Lord thing I've ever heard.
They're lonely.
They're lonely. They
need the power of friendship to pay off gambling debt.
They need the power of friendship. Like, all the power the Time Lords have created for themselves, and they're still stuck in this... Or it gets them stuck in this, like, stagnant society of theirs. And how fitting for Omega to have the same sort of thing happen to him.
Yeah, Omega gets them to take off his mask.
Which he then takes off himself
the way
later.
that they film it.
Wait. Yeah. But, like, hey, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Ding, ding,
What
ding,
are we
ding,
saying?
ding.
Like, exactly.
The way that they film it, because he's like, take off my mask. I need to give my mask to you because you're going to will my world into existence and I'm going to escape. We're going to pull a little Time Lord switcheroony. And the doctors are like, no, but okay. You know, they're not going to do it. But they're like, a word, okay, we'll take your mask off. And the way that it's filmed is that the audience can't see when they lift the mask, but you can see the doctor's reactions. And so they pry this mask up.
And they
and
put it back down.
2 gets scared. 2 gets scared. And then 3 puts the mask back down. And meanwhile, Omega's like, take it off! What are you doing? Oh my God.
Yeah, well, Omega like thinks it's still on when they start to
Mm.
take it off. Like he can't tell that it's gone, which is
Ooh.
interesting.
Yeah.
So
It re-
so then he stands.
it does make you think. It does make you think for like the briefest second, if you don't know what's coming, that he looks like the dark side of his mind creature for real.
Hmm.
Like it's a
I
real
just thought
like
Yeah, like we're back at Phantom of the
I
Opera.
just thought it was
exactly.
gonna
It's
be
a real
really
Phantom of the Opera
ugly or
territory again.
something.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But then he stands
But no, the
and
reality is
faces the
worse.
camera and lifts his entire helmet off, and there's nothing under
Does it
there.
himself.
And you can see straight through to the doctors who are looking at him like, yeah, singularity kind of got you already, the whole
I mean,
thing.
yeah. I mean, this is the shot. This is one of the
Yeah.
classic Who shots.
And the line,
So
Which is
yeah,
this rules, the concept of just becoming like an
your
idea.
will is all that is left of you,
it's
which is wild.
so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
which we'll get more of the real weird shit with that concept in like some of the novels later. But
And then he throws the biggest
yeah.
tantrum known to antimatter. Because, if he can't exist, neither can any fucking thing else. And so
Yeah, hold on. Can we wait? Let's back up for a sec. So the idea is that um Omega has been eroded away by the singularity, like his actual physical form and stuff. So now all that
Mhm.
exists of him is the idea of him, and it's his willpower that's keeping the entire world together. So if he can't leave at all. So,
Yeah.
I'm done.
you're
So his line is, "If I exist only by my will, then my will is to destroy, and all things shall be destroyed. All
Exactly.
things,
Back to the
all
tantrum.
things," and it's like Omega tantrum of all time.
yeah. And then the doctors, as soon as that starts happening, fucking book it out of there. Fastest I've ever seen them
They
move.
are
And
gone.
then it shows them exiting and running through the quarry, and the way that two runs is so funny. I don't know if you noticed that, but he's just a silly little
Yeah,
guy. Also, then after this, they show.
yeah. Everybody gathers together, and they're like everybody's like shouting over each other, and the brig has to like tell Joe and Benton off, which is really cute. It's like, you are still my employees. Shut up.
Also,
It's like, yeah, you're
when
still on
it
the
flips
clock.
back to showing Omega, freaking out, he is like glowing red because of the lighting, which isn't something that had really been like super prominent before, which I really appreciated because they were like,
The lighting on Omega in this, like he is lit differently from everybody
mhm,
else in every scene that he's in, and it gets increasingly blood
mhm.
red, like as we go,
Mhm.
until he is just full tantrum mode, rage, violence, destruction, etc. It's really fun, and that this is a thing they continue later in Arc of Infinity, um, which they do interesting lighting stuff with him in that. But there's a whole like mini documentary on the lighting of Omega in Arc of Infinity that I'm excited to
That's cute.
get to
Aw.
later.
Mhm.
Side note.
Um, Brig
Uh,
also, so two is still freaking out about his recorder and how he doesn't have it, and Brig says we must be thankful for small mercies. And then Benton says, okay, so like, can we nobble this Omega bloke?
One of the lines of all time.
Which two takes great
He
offense to.
does.
Describes him as one of the most powerful blokes in the cosmos.
Hell yeah.
Says nobble him.
And then one is back on the screen and they're trying to figure out what to do.
Attention, Bajoran workers.
They're trying to figure out what to do, and then they do contact with all three doctors. So once again, there's this high-pitched beeping and a bunch of rapidly flashing images on screen.
Yep.
Which actually,
Just
I'm
in
glad that
case
they
you fell
warn you
asleep.
by saying
yeah,
contact out
I do
loud.
think it's so. I did think it was really interesting that, like, when they're done, they've all communicated a ton of stuff that we have no idea about. I kind of liked that. I
Mhm.
thought that was really fun.
Yeah, and I had earlier when it was just
Yeah.
2 and 3 together of there's that crosstalk
Hmm.
bit of them just like saying the same things at the same time, trying to explain things to Joe, and that's a bit I'll never get tired of in multi-doctor
It's
stories.
so good.
Is it? I don't remember at which point it happens in this episode, but it's kind of earlier on. It's like um after one shows up maybe. So there's all this crosstalk with 2 and 3 arguing with each other and just being really bitchy to each other and trying to explain things at the same time. And then they're told off and told to get along basically, and they go and apologize to each other, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was being rude," blah blah blah. And then the crosstalk continues, but because they're trying to be nice to each
Yeah.
other now.
Yeah,
This is
Also,
my
Joe's
favorite.
smile when they start apologizing to each other was really cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
We get the Briggs, the three of them. I didn't know when I was well off.
Yes. Classic.
I have a line next, but there's some plot
Um,
before it that I don't know how to explain.
they find
Yes,
the
it's about the
recorder.
recorder. And the line I have is not my recorder. And then 3 goes, I'll get you another one. I'll get you 100. I'll get you 1,000. Which,
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they've discovered the recorder has I get it has migrated into the device
it's now in
and
the center of the force field generator.
right now it found itself in the center of the force field generator, and so they need it to stay there, which we find out why in a minute. um so 2 is distraught obviously that he can't touch it. There is a bit of plot before we get there. We come back to Gallifrey a couple times, just like brief little scenes,
Yeah, they're
where
struggling.
they're just basically updating us on how little power they have, and the lights have actually
Mm.
dimmed in. I'm gonna call it temporal control because that's where we are. Um, Not that they name it in the episode, but like it's like as if all the power on the whole planet is being drained,
Hmm.
um, because their time travel power is being drained. So it's just really dark
Yeah,
in there now.
which has some implications about like the materiality of like Gallifrey as a place, which it's one of my big like critiques of Gallifrey as a world is that we don't really get a lot of like what is materially happening in terms of like where is the power and the food and the stuff coming from, um,
There's
which kind of implies that it's all of it's coming from like they are outsourcing that to um, other times, which is
Mhm.
wild.
yeah. They hint at it a little bit in Gallifrey, the series. Um Very vaguely and never in a way that's remotely satisfying. Um so that's something to look forward to.
Never in a way that's remotely satisfying.
Exactly. Um yeah, that's going to be fun. But yeah, so
Yeah.
just basically Gallifrey is doing bad. W/R/T
Yeah.
power. Um,
Checking in. I'm doing bad.
yeah, checking in. Bad. I'm doing bad. But so they figure out this force field generator device, and um, they're gonna. So the doctors are going to send everybody else home through the light beam portal that the creatures came through. So they're going to step into the singularity and get sent
There's
back
no
home.
place like home.
While the doctor...
Mhm.
There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
And and the doctors are going to stay behind and reason with Omega. And Omega is saying, "Oh, great, you're gonna stay here with me forever and keep me company." And
The
that
power
will
of
be
friendship.
the power of friendship, and that will be like his revenge, basically, to keep them captive. But the doctor
Imagine
is
being
saying,
so annoying that your revenge on somebody you really hate is to just force them to spend time with you.
"I have something to say about Omega and the other in Rassilon." I mean, it's like bitchy abusive ex material for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so the doctors are saying, "Oh, we're gonna stay behind and figure something out," and Omega is saying, "Haha, that's funny. You're never gonna leave." But they send everybody else home anyway.
Yeah. Aldous is
Yeah.
here
Yeah, he showed up.
somewhere in here.
They got him.
We
in there
get like
somewhere.
we have enough people now that like it's hard to keep track of where everybody is.
Right, because he was with the brig.
Yeah.
Running around and being ridiculous for a bit. Yeah, so there's this scene where everybody is like one by one stepping into the singularity and going home, and it seems like a really big sort of goodbye for everybody. Everybody's pretty.
But they're like fine.
Yeah, everyone's pretty nervous about it, especially Benton.
That's because last time anything weird
this...
happened, he turned into a baby.
That guy doesn't
That's
have
true.
good luck with beams.
I think that he does believe on some level that anytime he does anything like sci-fi, he's gonna turn into a baby again.
I wonder how much he remembers of being a baby. Like the second time. Sorry, not the first time. That he wouldn't remember. Anyway, so everybody goes home except the doctors, and they are they're left alone with Omega and their device, their force field generator contraption with the recorder sticking out of it, which Omega keeps calling like a really stupid, childish device. He like won't let up.
Oh my god, your contraption's cringe.
He won't let up. He's like, what the hell is this?
Literally, like, you're cringe.
I mean, it's fair. Like, he was the hero stellar engineer of Gallifrey, and they have a box with a flute in it, so... And then they fight. Omega knocks the device over. The recorder touches the floor, and the whole thing explodes. Kaboom. The whole universe. But the doctors escape through the singularity first.
Hooray!
Hooray! We blew him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we learned an important lesson about the power of friendship today.
We did. The power of friendship got everybody home.
The power of self-cess.
The power of self-cess and friendship got everybody home and blew up a founding father. So, cheers.
Really, like, praxis. They blew up a founding father, and then the doctor gets, like, thanked by it, by the state, by getting a full pardon.
They sent him a DMAT circuit, and all of his knowledge of time travel comes back.
Yeah,
which was
they
so
give
nice.
him. Actually, so first we go back to Gallifrey, and the lights come back on, and either the Chancellor or the President, I don't remember which one, or maybe the guy at the controls says, so they're looking at the black hole, and like something happens to light starts coming out of it, not the beam, but like light, and the power comes back on, and they say another source of energy, once again Omega. And I think I missed this every other time I watched it, So basically, this like Eye of Harmony 2? Because it's a new power source
It might be.
from the same black hole. That's what they make it sound like. But yeah, then we're
I
gone. Then
was
they're
like
fine.
half asleep by this point in watching it, to be honest.
Yeah, like it seems like the original power source like did get depleted, but then they get this new power source from the exploding antimatter universe coming back out of the black hole or something, which is weird. And I don't think anyone else really
There's
picks
a
up on that.
brief moment where Joe, Benton, and the Brig think the doctors are dead.
Yes, obviously.
Wonderful chat, both of them. The Brig forgot that there was a third
He
one.
didn't know.
He didn't know that one was a wonderful
That's
chap.
true. One of them. Yeah, he didn't know him.
He didn't know him. Never met him.
And that one wasn't like walking into a suicide mission, so.
Oh, I also
Yeah, he
meant
assumed that one was fine.
I also
He
meant
was
that he
chilling.
didn't know that one was one of the doctors.
That got told to him.
Eventually?
Because then you get the three of them. I didn't know. But that was earlier
Okay,
in the
because
episode.
earlier I know two didn't tell him specifically.
It was a brief moment.
Oh.
He
Yeah,
Brig
because
sees him
one of the times that like he shows
Yeah.
up on screen, Joe
Oh,
fills
yeah.
him in,
Okay.
and then you get the three of them. I didn't know when I was well off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they all think the doctors are dead, and then the TARDIS shows back up with the doctors in it.
And that they have they get it. He gets a DMAT circuit.
Yeah,
And starts working on fully like repairing the TARDIS. They need to fix the force field generator now, which I love as a detail. It's like, yeah, we did like fully take apart our ship to do this.
Also, I have a question about, you know how the Time Lords took his knowledge and then gave it back? Right. Later, when 4 is inside his own brain, do you see where I'm going with this? Can
yes.
someone explain it better than me?
In The Invisible Enemy, 4 gets shrunk into his own brain, and he's with Leela, and he mentions something about a physical structure in his brain that lets him connect to, quote, the Time Lord I can't pronounce it, intelligentsia. And then he says they burnt that out of him, or like took that out of him or something when he was kicked out. And this is never elaborated on. So implications.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
wild.
I'm wondering if they would be able to do that,
many
if they'd be able to do
implications.
that to him again, or no, or if that was the link.
I think that was possibly part of it. Like, they never really explain that, like, specifically what that line means. But there's always implications of, like, they can take knowledge and thoughts and memories from you, or, like, cut off your telepathic connection to other Time Lords. And that telepathic, like,
crazy.
not hive mind, but, like, yeah, there's always stuff like that, which I think is really fun. But they give him his skills back. He gets good again.
Hooray!
He's a little bit...
his epic gamer strats back.
He gets his epic gamer strats back. He gets his license back. There's a little moment where he's sad about having killed Omega, and says that, like, it was the only way to truly set him free, which is a little sad and all that.
Yeah.
But he gets over it pretty quick.
And so does Omega.
Yeah.
And then, like, final button was, hey, isn't a working class man funny?
Yeah. God.
He shows back up at home, and, like, his wife's mad at him because She doesn't know where he's been, and he's like, "Oh, I couldn't explain it to you."
Yeah. Woman, you wouldn't
Woman,
get it. Go make me stew. Something like that.
Yeah.
Classic.
basically.
Haha.
Ah,
Misogyny.
funny every time.
Women.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, women.
I'm so sorry, women. But yeah, that's the episode. How did we all feel about it? Did we
Yes.
like it?
I had a fun time. I found myself way more frustrated with how stupid the brig was in this than I was the first few times I'd seen it. And in general, like characters like just not knowing things that they should know, or like for the sake of a bit doing like being more ignorant than they should be, which is not normally a thing I get frustrated by. I don't know why it was bothering me this time.
It happened a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
Like every
Like there can be
Brigadier,
another joke that you tell.
like everything the Brigadier said was basically him playing dumb for the bit. Not playing dumb,
Yeah.
but being dumb.
You know,
for the
he's
bit.
being authentically dumb
Yeah.
for the bit.
It was pretty incessant. No, I really
I did
liked it.
too.
I really love this. I love Omega as a character.
I don't think we have like awards for this one at the moment, unless we inaugurate a new award. This is the thing we did on the last bonus episode that we forgot to. We like decided to do on air during our last bonus episode. That we now have currently have two awards that we will give to characters or episodes for just outstanding performance in certain areas. First, we have the Harper Award, named after Harper from the War Games, for an underappreciated character who we would love to hear more from, who did die over the course of the episode. Nobody dies in this except Omega, and I don't think he's underappreciated.
And
We
he's
do
fine.
hear more from him.
Fine.
Yeah, it's like also a requirement there is that they're a one-off. So nobody qualifies for the Harper Award here. The other award is the Time Monster Outstanding Ensemble Award, which we inaugurated when we watched the Time Monster on the Patreon feed, patreon.com/Gallifrey ad nauseum, because we were just so enamored with how everybody in that episode was firing on all cylinders that there's just like a full cast of people that we want to shout out.
Genuinely one of the best episodes
I don't know.
in all of Doctor Who. Truly.
So good. If you want to hear
Yeah.
us going on and on about how fantastic it is for like 3 hours,
Yeah, you
get on
can
that
just
Patreon feed.
yeah, pay us for just like 1 month to listen to that one episode and then leave. I think that I haven't edited it yet. I think it's gonna come out until like we were recording for like 3 full hours.
Easily. It was
Yeah,
after midnight. But
so that's a lot of good content that you're gonna get on that feed.
I would
Yeah,
not call this a
so I
standout
also don't.
ensemble
I don't
cast.
think this one qualifies for that. Would we? What would we say about an Omega Award for villains? Or like a specific type of like camp acting that I feel like I want to recognize.
That or stupid pronunciation of a name.
That's so specific.
How about Omega Award for tantrumous villains?
Ooh,
Is that a word?
it is now.
Like most whiny, just
It could just be for overacting in general.
Yeah,
It
let's
could
do
be.
that. I like that. I think Omega
For a
gets that award.
because like I mean we're gonna watch Horns of Nimon at some point.
I mean, absolute shoo-in for that one.
Yeah, Omega Award
Let's
for
go for
some
it.
acting choices.
Omega Award for acting
So
choices.
true.
For choices. Choices were made.
I will say Stephen Thorne does come back as Omega in the audio dramas, at least
Nice.
in Intervention Earth, and just absolutely kills it the whole time.
Doesn't Conrad Westmass
Um,
also?
No, he plays Rassilon in the Big Finish audio drama called Omega. He plays young
Oh,
Rassilon
shit.
for about...
That rules.
It's so
I
crazy.
need to listen to that one. We're going to listen to that one, but
We're going to. There was, just speaking of Omega and Big Finish, so in the bonus features of I'm gonna say it's the DVD of Arc of Infinity because I pirated it. So I don't know if it's a DVD. But there is a sort of mini documentary, or like behind the scenes, some interviews with Bob Baker, who was one of the writers of
one of the writers, yeah,
one of the writers of this, and he describes Omega as, so he says the initial idea, when they were coming up with the initial idea for the character, there was a book they read that was, it was Bob Baker, and who was the other writer of this?
Dave Martin, I believe.
Yes, Dave Martin. And they'd read this book that was written from the perspective of a dead person who described themselves as being like an awareness of an awareness. And that's where the initial, like that's like how they got Omega's whole willpower thing. That's how they got his whole.
Oh, it is a whole. There's nothing there.
I pause when I talk. I'm sorry. And I mean, we should link this. If I can find a legal copy of this little like 15-minute behind the scenes thing, we should link it in the pod notes because it's just a really good like different writers.
Gallifrey ad nauseum does not condone illegal activity.
We do not condone illegal activity. But if you can come by this video
by some mysterious means,
by any means necessary.
Any means necessary.
It's interviews with Bob Baker, Johnny Byrne, who wrote Arc of Infinity, and Nev Fountain, who wrote the Big Finish audio Omega, and they all talk about just writing the character. And it's really interesting stuff if you actually enjoy the character and some of the lore. Just little highlights. Quote, millennia of sensory deprivation.
Scherzo.
Johnny Burns saying, like, Omega's whole thing was, like, he needed hope or hate or love or something to survive, like, in willpower form, and he chose hate.
What a bummer.
But, like, whether it was just hatred didn't factor into it. Yeah, just cool stuff. Cool stuff if you like the character. Because we're going to see him again.
All right. Any other final thoughts on the Three Doctors?
You can cut this out, but I think a funny title would be Omega-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the bonus feed, we are watching Planet of the Spiders. They're going to kill that old man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And then next on the main feed is the Brain of Morbius. It's Morbin time.
Oh,
Get
God, yes.
Morbed.
It does. So this one does not technically fit our theme. It does not take place on Gallifrey, but like it basically does.
It's the Doctor's home planet.
There's so much to talk about.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, actually, between this and the next one we're watching, Gallifrey will be named. So
when does it get named?
Time Monster. Not Time Monster. Time Warrior.
Time Warrior. Okay.
Which is the first one of the season after this.
So true. I'm excited.
First
for
one,
that.
Sarah Jane. Yeah, but by in Planet of the Spiders, we'll have Sarah Jane as well as in Brain of Morbius. What a woman!
What a woman.
Morbius.
Can we get an F for Joe? She's not dead, but like
I'm gonna miss.
We're gonna miss her.
I've barely seen any Sarah Jane, to be honest. Like I've seen Brain of Morbius.
I have not. Big surprise there.
Yeah. She's a lot of fun in Planet of the Spiders. I think you're gonna enjoy a lot of her
Yay.
characterization in that.
Oh no, I've seen Ark in Space too. Right.
You can follow the podcast on Blue Sky at Gallifrey Ad Nauseum. You can follow me specifically at Ramon
You
Hadassah.
can follow me at More Garlic Now.
And you can follow me at Staser Snout.
Okay,
Wahoo.
bye.
Good.